Tom Aspinall taking on Curtis Blaydes. My official prediction is Tom Aspinall. Now, I've got to tell you guys, I have a horse in this race. I have followed both of these guys' career very closely. I know a lot of people are talking about Tom now, but in a little bit of credit to myself, I was the first. I mean, I did bring him to you guys. I did bring him to you before he was on television. He was doing some really great stuff. Now, the same thing goes with Curtis Blaydes. Curtis Blaydes is flat confusing to me. How Curtis Blaydes is not one of your favorite fighters truly is surprising to me. He's in the right division. He's got the length. He's got the amateur background. He's got the wins. He's got the heart. He's got the courage. He isn't a pain in the ass in the media. He doesn't turn on the organization. He wants the hardest fights. I mean, he checks a lot of boxes, not to mention he's the young guy and appears to be pretty nice. Now, I only bring that to, I don't know why he isn't more over. I like that he's in a main event, but it needs to be even more, guys. This is the number one contenders match. This is the true number one contenders match. If you go get the boys together, you go get the locker room together, get the Tai Tuivasas, get the Stipe Miocic. I mean, go get the surreal, get the boys together, get the champion himself, Francis Ngannou. And you just said to him, hey, of all the matches that are booked at heavyweight, what is the one that is most competitive? If one of these has to be a number one contenders match, all the ones that are booked, who should it be? And they would tell you unanimously, Curtis Blaydes versus Tom Aspinall. I really want to make that point because this is a main event. It's a big deal, and Tom's doing it on home soil. He's coming off his first ever main event, of which was a finish. He beat a former world champion Orlovsky, which, by the way, was a finish. This is a colossal match. We seem to have a division that is held up. And that happens sometimes, but boy, would that be frustrating. When you have a champion who's injured and may not be coming back, you then have a match that you believe is going to be for the interim championship, which will at least give you some sense of normalcy. Whoever's got the belt, whoever's got a prize, whoever can be chased, we got to have that. Every division has that. We, the fans, need that. The promotion in the industry needs that, but the boys and the competitors, they need to have a motivation and a drive and an aspiration. They got to have that. And the match that we believe is going to happen, Stipe versus Jones, for some reason isn't even signed. Not only is it not signed, from what we're hearing, it's not in talks. And if you go get out a calendar and you look at the pay-per-view dates that are left that do not have main events assigned to them, you got one shot to make this match. Jones versus Stipe happens in November, or it happens in 2023 at the earliest. And I bring that to you because how long can that be true? It is true today. There should be no knee-jerk reaction. Make no mistake, it's Jones versus Stipe, but something's happening there, whether we've been told or not. Something is happening. And every time heavyweights fight, particularly in a feature match on ESPN, they're given an opportunity. It's not to get a little win in a show. It's not to get a little exercise, pursue their dreams. It's a platform. First and foremost, you're going to have a match. I'm going to give you a platform. And I know it's a Vince McMahon quote, that the only thing he's going to give you is an opportunity, but boy, it sure is true for Dana to say it as well. You've got the match, but I'm going to give you an opportunity. Convince me. And before you get to me, you've got to convince the world that's watching. It really is relevant. Tom Aspinall goes out, gets a jump on Curtis Blaydes, take that microphone. You're going to be having a very different conversation come Monday morning about who the contender be. Who knows what Tom's going to do? Knowing Tom, he's going to do nothing, in all fairness. He's a polite guy. He's at home. He has a way that he wants to look. But if he beats Curtis Blaydes, if he finished Curtis Blaydes, oh my God, that's a hard thing to do. But if he did, and he took that microphone and he made his case in a direction that we have not yet considered, whether he goes right after Stipe, whether he goes right directly to Jon Jones, or if he pushes them both to the side and the world's listening, and he says, guys, I'm now the number one contender. It's me. And I'm going to be taking on the winner of Tuivasa and Ciryl Gane. Good luck to you both and see you soon. But we just got a new conversation, don't we? Hey, what the hell is he talking about? Those two. So we're going to just push Jones and Stipe? Interesting. Interesting topic. How well can he do it? How well can he deliver it? But these are opportunities. I mean, I'm just sharing, make no mistake. Aspinall is chasing Tuivasa. Tuivasa is the biggest star at heavyweight. That is the guy that's going to move the needle and pack the house the most. I understand that. But Tom's right behind him. Now, there's a lot of things that have to happen. Getting the jump on Curtis Blaydes. You can not only lose to Curtis Blaydes, Curtis can make you look bad. Brendan Schaub was weighing in on this, and he was talking about Aspinall potentially relying as part of his strategy on his jiu-jitsu black belt. And Brendan said, don't do it. Curtis will eat your black belt and spit it back at you. And he's right. Curtis has the body type, he has the position, he understands posture and hips, and he can give those elbows from top. You're not going to submit him. I get that. But Aspinall will also go surprise you with takedowns. I'm telling you guys, regardless of what you see, Aspinall's biggest threat is his hands. Not his kickboxing, it's not his knees, it's his hands. Powerful. He turns to other things, and he will surprise you with takedowns. Dealing with Volkov the way he did is very relevant, because one thing that Curtis Blaydes had, not only in this fight, but that Curtis has in all of his fights, he's got reach, he's got height. Tom has shown, just in his last contest, that he can deal with that. It's an interesting man. I'm leaning at Tom Aspinall. That's who I think is going to win. I also know Curtis could beat him. This is the fight. But that's what number one contenders fights are about. You don't know. It's not a squash match. You don't have a huge favorite. They're very unclear. The lines go back and forth. The audience is torn. This has all of those things. This should be the number one contenders match, guys. I just don't know who it draws into. It doesn't look like it will draw into Francis. Common belief, if you're going to poke your nose in this, is whoever is holding up the Stipe and Jones fight is now out. If Stipe's to the table and John's out, put Aspinall in there against Stipe. And vice versa. Stipe doesn't want to be there, put John, and let's just get the hell on with it. That would be common belief. Common belief is low-hanging fruit. I like the idea. I really do like the idea of Tom declaring that he's now the number one contender and that the match he's looking for his next opponent is Ciryl Gane versus Tai Tuivasa. Those guys are going to have media. Those guys are going to have opportunity. Tai Tuivasa will do something with it. Ciryl Gane is guys that turn in a punch bowl. But you still created a conversation. You've changed things. And that's really what you have the opportunity to do. You're going to have to go fight Curtis Blaydes. You're going to have to go fight Aspinall. That's a big pain in the ass. That's a tough day any way that you want to do it, no matter who you are. But you're going to be given an opportunity with a platform if you get your hand raised. What you do with that is paramount. Paramount. I'm right when I tell you this should be the number one contenders match, but it's not, because what is a number one contenders match, guys? Is that a piece of paper? You didn't get a form for that? You think you fill something out, you check a box? No, it's a narrative within the industry. That's it. So if the narrative doesn't exist, you got to go and create it. You got to create it by getting across the guy in front of you, grabbing that microphone, and making something happen.